Pay attention, Sean. I'm going to make you a lot of money right now. You want to get to 100,000 a month, correct? Always wants to focus on the what if I lose, what if I fail? Who gives a shit? What if you stay the same? Some people are owned by their business. They don't own the business owns them, and they don't have these people. Will we ever see another Brad Lee and Grant Cardone podcast? This is a live call-in show. That's the whole point of it. I'm going to give you guys tips, tricks, life, business, right on the fly. Daniel H. from St. James, Minnesota. What's going on, my man? How old are you?
25, Brad.
25. What do you do for a living?
Sell cell phones.
Well, listen, what's your goal?
Crack 6 figures.
Well, that's easy enough, but you might have to, I don't know, is there anybody on your team right now that's making 6 figures selling cell phones?
One dude in my team that was cracking 6 figures. Other than that, I don't know too many.
What is that dude doing that you're not doing?
Working longer hours and just talking to more people.
You're damn right he is. He's talking to more people, and he's working more, and he's doing more, and he's probably a little better than you, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been in the game a little bit longer.
So is he a little better, or isn't he?
He is.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If he's working more and he's a little better, using common sense, how do you think you could crack that 6-figure mark?
Probably studying, going back on Lightspeed, going and doing your course again, because I bought your course back 3 years ago, and that's how I originally purchased your book. And that actually is what started me and excelled me to making quite a bit of money at Verizon.
Well, I was going to say, dude, you must not have took my course because you wouldn't be making 70 G's. You'd have known by now, like, hey, we got to sell something else. But if cell phones are your passion and you want to make that 6 figures, bro, all you got to do is figure out what the dude doing it is doing. And then when you just said, man, he's working longer hours. Okay, work longer hours. You're saying he's talking to more people. Okay, you need to talk to more people. So now the question is why aren't you, if it's that easy?
I know it's a limiting self-belief, but it's depending on traffic. Like, I am trying to do like social media marketing, things like that, to try to incentivize people to come in. I'm not putting in enough work. That's literally what's going on.
You already said that. Why is the question. Here's why. Because somewhere deep down, subconsciously, you don't think you deserve anymore. You're basically making what you're worth to yourself. You don't think you're worth anymore, which is why you're accepting where you're at. If you didn't accept where you're at and you thought you were worth more money and you thought you deserve more, you'd have more. So what you have to do is you have to make the decision. Number one, are you worth any more than you're making? If your answer is yes, then I'd say, well, you're in sales, bro. You're only getting paid what you're worth, which means you're not worth any more, which means now what are you going to do to be worth more? You got to work, bro. You got to talk to more people. You got to put in the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the more hands you shake, the more money you make.
You can already see your problems, correct?
Yep, a mile away.
Let's change them, big dog. I appreciate you calling in. We'll get you that book, that signed book.
What's happening, big dog?
What's going on besides the mother effing rent?
The question is, how important is role-playing in today's sales skills? I know it's basic, but just how important is it, man? Like,
know the answer, bro. The answer is it's very important. What you want me to do is reiterate to your team what you've already told them 100 times, which is, listen, guys, repetition, practice, and accountability is crucial for learning. There's 4 ingredients. Good content. You got to know the right way to do it in the first place. If you don't know the right way to do it in the first place, guys, you need good content. You need the right way to do it in the first place. Once you're like, okay, I got the good content, well, now you need repetition, practice, and accountability. Role-playing is the practice. Role-playing is what gets you better. It's what gets you more comfortable. It's what gets you, like, smoother. And the smoother you can come across and the more naturally you can come across, the more deals you're going to close. So do you want to sit there and learn something and then wait till you get a customer to try it out like a... No. What do you want to do? Well, you want to role play and practice and get more comfortable with it and start, using it and becoming more comfortable. So obviously, Mr. Tyson, role play is very important.
Well, do you think that being a good salesman can stem into other areas of your life, like dating.
Absolutely, Rob. That's a freaking wonderful point. If you can develop your sales skills in such a way that you can leverage them, you can get finer chicks with nicer butts, make more money. You can do all kinds of things. The power of sales leads into every area of your life. Listen to me. It's the most wonderful and valuable skill and asset you can acquire. Great question, Rob. What else do you want to know?
I'm single. I'm an entrepreneur. And I refuse to date anybody because I feel like I'm too focused on growing the company. What do you, and people are telling me, when are you going to date somebody? I'm like, dude, I don't want to date anybody. I want to date my business. Do you think there's anything wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't f your business.
True. That's true, dude.
Well, I know. At least you don't want to. You can f your business all right, but not in the way you were talking about. So if I were you, if you're asking me my advice, which is what you should be doing, because this is BRADVICE. Number one, quit worrying about what everybody else thinks. Who gives a shit? Okay, who cares what they're saying and what they think and why, if they think you're weird. Because again, I mean, I follow you on social media, dude. You're a little bit weird. You're a little bit weird. But isn't everybody? Everybody's a little bit weird.
So.
All right, so who cares if they think you're weird? So do I. So does everybody. Okay, that's irrelevant. What is relevant? Well, how do you feel? Well, dude, you sound like you want to grow a business. You're not interested in getting laid. Like, let me grow this damn business and then I'll get all the frickin', females later, or I'll find my wife later, or whatever it is your goals are. And you're saying, is there anything wrong with that? Again, dude, what you're seeking right now is validation from somebody else because you can't seem to validate yourself. Dude, there's nothing wrong with focusing on your business. In fact, most people should do more of that. There's too many dudes out there chasing the tail, and that's why they're going to fail. Chase the tail and fail. But you can do both, right? But to what degree? Well, dude, if I were you, I wouldn't be chasing tail. If I'm a young man nowadays in this world, I wouldn't be chasing tail at all, okay? They'd be chasing me for sure, but I wouldn't be chasing any of it. I might stop and accept some here and there, but I'd be focused. I wouldn't be chasing it. That's for damn sure. I'd be attracting it. How? By being focused on a bigger mission. You're focused on your business and you have no interest in dating or females. Dude, the females will come out of the woodwork. You'll start noticing them everywhere. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit there and make it a big thing, if you make it a big thing like, damn it, I'm going to decide never to touch a female until I've reached a certain level. Now you're taking it too far. Like, why don't you just go focus on your business, not worry about what everybody thinks. And if somebody wants to throw some your way and it happens to be convenient, well, then do it. But again, if you're like, well, I'm religious, Brad, and I don't believe until we're married, then I didn't know that information. With that information, I'd say, dude, just focus on your business. Don't worry about it. Good luck on the hunt.
10-4, dog.
Angelo, Farmington.
I had a quick question about, I have some real estate. I own 6 single-family residential units. I have a home healthcare business. I'm partners in a small Italian little mom and pop shop bistro. We got the best pizza around. But my question is I just learned about these over the past year. I have not researched a lot at all, but they're called the DSCR loans, debt service credit ratio loans. I'm wondering if you do those, or if you could recommend a company that's legitimate that would be able to, because that's what I'm looking into. I'm looking at some multi-unit buildings now. That's my next big thing. I want to get into I'm looking at a 14-unit building right now. So.
Well, that's awesome, buddy. So what's your question? Will I loan you money based on the DSCR model?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I will do. I'll tell you to go to realmoneylending.com. That's real, like me. Real money, like me. Money. Lending.com. Fill that out. And dude, I'll have up to, $500,000 in your bank account tomorrow. I might even go to $1 million, but again, I don't usually. I can have your money in quick, but you got to fill out that app. Otherwise, I don't know nothing.
Man, praise God, dude. That's awesome. Well, God bless you, Brad. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for letting me on.
Sean, what's up, buddy?
Hey Brad, what's up? We talked before.
Oh, when did we talk last time?
I'm the guy who started a sales coaching business and you set up a call with on Monday.
Right on. What's your question?
Yeah, so basically I started the business and we've been doing pretty good. We got a few clients on like I just want to ask you, like, I've kind of had a mix of clients. So some of them are like super passionate. They want to like put the work in and everything. But I have some clients who like they pay me but they just don't put in the work with. Like they just don't put in the work.
Well, welcome to life.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do with them.
I tell people this all the time. I can save you from drowning, but you got to swim towards me. You know what that means? I bought a treadmill, dude, and the salesman didn't come over to my house every day to make sure I was on it. Okay? That's my responsibility. Your job is to give them the information and the resources and the training and the knowledge and the advice to follow. It's their job to follow it. There's nothing you can do to make anyone do that. The information you give them will cause them to. If they don't do it, bro, there's nothing you can do unless you want to go to jail.
The only problem is just, like, it's a mentorship, right? So it's not like I didn't just sell them a course or anything, like, or there's no, like, videos, right? So it's supposed to be one-on-one help, and they're entitled to a certain amount of calls every week with me. But I have this one specific client where, like, I told him, hey, like, send me 5 of your role plays, like, every day, you know, and based on that, we're going to see how we can help you improve. Every year you paid me for everything. And I just don't know what to do with the guy. I can't drop him because he paid me. Like,
dude, listen, yes, you can, and yes, you can. But let me make sure I heard what you just said. You told him to do something. He hasn't done that yet, right?
Right. And he's telling me like, hey, like my mom.
You keep adding, dude, and we keep going down other rabbit holes. Let's stop one at a time and plug the hole first. You told the dude to send you role plays, correct?
Right.
And he did not do that, correct?
No.
Okay, until he does that, there's nothing to do. Move on. Talk to someone else. Tell someone else to do some like, dude, if no one's listening, stop talking. That's rule number 1. Number 2, like, you already told them what to do. Now, again, you want to be courteous and follow up. Send him a reminder. But, dude, there is nothing more to do until he responds and does what you told him to do. Correct? So you don't have to drop him, dude. Just wait until he returns. If he never returns, that's great. And when he returns with a complaint, like, what, are you not following up? Say, oh, I apologize. Let me give you some more consulting and training. You got to take responsibility for your own actions. You got to be responsible for your own follow-up. I'm just going to give you information. You got to actually execute. So write that down. Take that note. You got that? Okay, good. Now, moving forward. Have you done what I told you? No? All right, call me when you do. Well, I want to know,
For sure.
guys, call me when you do. In other words, like, dude, you don't need to drop them. They need to follow instruction, and if they can't, the instruction stops until they do.
How do I get to 100K a month with my coaching business?
Well, how much do you charge?
I charge $4,000 per client.
Okay, well then, if you charge $4,000 a client and you're trying to get to 100K a month, how many clients do you need to get?
25, but like the more technical side, like in terms of content.
Blah, blah. See what I mean? Like, dude, you asked the question and now you want to not listen. Pay attention, Sean. I'm going to make you a lot of money right now. You want to get to 100,000 a month, correct? But because, by the way, dude, if I made 100 grand a month, I'd be bankrupt. So if you ever want to do something, here's the hack. Here's the secret. You find someone who's already done it. You ask them what they did, you listen, and then you do what they tell you, or you do what they did, and then likely you'll get what they got. So at $100,000, you got to do the math. People don't understand. It's just a math. You back into it. I want to make $100,000. Okay, so for example, can I get 100 people to give me $1,000 a month? For what? For whatever. Can you get 100 people to give you $1,000 a month? In your case, for coaching. If the answer is no, I can't get that much. I haven't built my credibility. Nobody knows who I am yet. Okay, can you get 1,000 people to give you $1 or $100? You go, yeah, well, there's 100 grand a month. So you need 1,000 people to give you $100. You need 100 people to give you $1,000. You can get 10 people to give you $10,000, or you can get 100,000 people to give you $1. Now, one of those has got to be worth your coaching. Which one is it? What are you charging? You charge $4,000 to coach them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, if you already know that and that's been established, are people paying it?
Yeah.
Okay, because if people are paying it, then it's sellable. So now $4,000. I need how many clients? 25.
25.
You need 25 clients. Right. How many do you have?
I have 4.
Okay, you have 4. So how did you get those 4, by the way?
Posting YouTube content.
Okay, so post more YouTube content. Why? Because it already worked. Okay, so keep posting more. You want to do more now. How much did you post?
I have 4 videos.
Okay, so if you want to have 4 times the traffic, which is you're looking for 6 times the traffic, how many more videos do you think you should post? 6 times the videos that you posted, right?
24.
And you hope it scales. So now you do more, you post more, you'll get more leads, you'll close more deals, and you'll make your $100,000. Now the question is why aren't you? The question is how? It might be, what's the best way? There might be a million other questions I can help you with. But dude, that's the answer. By the way, if you're like, well, that took 6 months. Well, then, bro, it might take 4 times 6 months. I mean, all you have to do to get your 100,000 is figure out what you did to get your 16,000. Because right now you're at 16 grand, aren't you?
Yeah.
Did they all pay 4 Gs?
Well, I mean, the beginning ones, like the first people paid like 2, and then I started raising the price when more people started taking it.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, get them all. If you're not there, there's no reason for not being there. And then just up what you've been doing all right, and then call me next time I do one of these. We'll do a follow-up with you.
Calling you from South Carolina. Hey, so my question is, should I keep pounding the doors day to day with alarm sales, or should I just jump full-fledged into life insurance where there's residual income, all that good stuff there?
Well, listen, the RR on a Rolls-Royce headrest doesn't stand for Rolls-Royce like people think it does. It actually stands for recurring revenue. So anytime there's recurring revenue involved, I would highly advise putting more focus into that, because the more money and time and effort that you focus on things that are recurring revenue based, the bigger the return is over the future. Now, if you have multiple kids and you have bills to pay, my answer might be different. Why? Well, because you might need to stick with what you're doing to pay the damn bills, because you always need a stable table to operate from. A lot of people give up their sure thing for a maybe thing, and then the maybe thing goes south and they get scared and they crash, and then they run back to the sure thing, and then what happens? They get their job back. Okay, so you got to ask yourself, like, what's the worst that can happen from taking a chance? What's the worst that can happen? You go get your job back. Well, fuck, you're there now. Well, so what's the worst that can happen? Nothing. I go full time into this that I'm not sure about, or stay where I'm sure. Isn't that really what you want to know? Dude, do you have kids?
I do.
Do you have to pay
I've
bills?
got 5 kids. Absolutely.
How much money do you have in the bank? Can you last 6 months without a dime coming in?
From what I have in the bank, from where my bills are, I could if we needed to.
Then I would not worry so much about quitting what you got going on to put more time into what you really want to do.
Okay.
Now again, that's because you have 6 months worth of bills, bro. And if in 6 months this ain't working out, stop. Because dude, I've seen people do massive in 6 months in the insurance space, showing people how to make a ton of money. I got people doing 50, 100 grand a month. Okay, how much you make last year with your life insurance license?
Maybe 10 grand for the whole year.
And how many hours did you put into it?
Not much, because it was only 10 grand.
Well, it's only 10 grand because you didn't put much into it. The question is how much did you put in and make 10 grand? In other words, what if you only spent an hour and you made 10 grand? What if you'd have spent 40 hours? Well, then you'd have made 300 grand. Well, then I would say quit the alarm. If I were you, I wouldn't lean too hard into the life insurance, because it sounds like you're a little bit scared of that. So just stick your toe in and be nice and slow. Don't be too freaking risky, Xavier. Damn, you might end up right back where you are. For you, my man. What's up, Ethan?
I'll drop it for you quick. I live in West Virginia, so I want to do a house trailer park on a piece of land that I found. It's a little over 5 acres that they want $35,000 for. What's the best way to get financed on that?
Well, again, I mean, you can raise $35,000 fairly easily. For 5 acres of land, where's the property? Where's the location? Where's the deal? Do you have this in writing or no?
No, it's a piece of land that I found that's for sale. It's got all utilities run up to it. I don't need the 35,000. I want to get financed to do the rest of it. Put some trailers in there. I want to get up to 20. Obviously, I'm not going to get that right off the bat. But that'll be the end goal for that piece of property.
So it'll fit 20. What's the money you're trying to raise for?
To buy the house trailers and put in all the utilities to those trailers. And then I also have empty lots that people can move their house trailers on and just charge them lot rent.
Do you have all of that in writing in a business plan?
No.
Okay, well, I'd start with putting together a business plan so you know how much money you need.
From what I've decided, I think it's better to get like hard money lenders rather than going through a bank.
Oh, you want to know whether it's a hard money lending is better than a bank?
Yeah, like what would be the best way to finance the money I need to finish it?
Well, the best way to finance the money would be from a friend or family that loans you the money at no interest.
I mean, yeah, that'd definitely be the best way, right? But that's not going to happen. I got more money than anybody in my family, and I'm 35.
Yeah, so what you want is advice as to where to go now. Well, again, dude, I mean, I'll loan you the money. I'd say send me the business plan. So you got to figure out how much money you need, right? And then the business plan will give out projections as well, and then that will be able to lend whether or not hard money or institution money is the way you should go. And by the way, it doesn't matter whether it's hard or from a bank. At the end of the day, what are the terms? Because when you say, well, what's my best possible scenario? Well, what are the terms? You need some sort of clubhouse or community, maybe a pool. You know, you're building a trailer park, yeah?
Yeah, it's in West Virginia. A pool would be too nice for it.
West Virginia is just as good as frickin' Tennessee, just as good as frickin', New York. At the end of the day, it's a trailer park. So you got the land, right? You got the money for the land. Yep. That's beautiful, because if you have the money for the land, to get a loan to develop is easier. Again, you got to go down to your county and you got to figure out where it's zoned. Are you even allowed to put a trailer park there? There's steps that you do, but I'm just jumping through them because I want to give you the gist. The gist is now you need to raise money for the units and the construction or the development that you need to put into the property to make it rentable.
Yep, I've went through and checked everything out. I can absolutely put trailers in there. I can fit way more than 20 on 5 acres.
But I think what you really want to know is what to do literally the whole way through. Because when you say what's better, hard money loan or a bank, it's what's the terms. It's better to go with the right terms. I don't care if it's hard money lending or not. I'm a hard money lender. You want me to lend you some money? John.
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Good, buddy.
What are your thoughts on using AI automated sales calls to set sales calls versus just traditional real people?
I would say that, again, AI is going to allow you to create more volume than ever before, but less personalization. So if it were up to me and I had an AI bot that could make all the calls for me and set my appointments for me, and the AI bot could call 10,000 people, right, and set me 2,000 appointments, versus the individual that I would have to hire and wait for them to call manually, all those people.
Right.
It's not going to make sense to have a human being make the call.
Do you have anyone in mind that's good, that's reputable, that I can talk with, that's trustworthy to work with?
That will set AI appointments for you?
Right. Yeah. Because we don't have a lead problem. We have a conversion problem. I need leads into sales calls.
Yes, I can help you with that. Email me again, Brad@bradlee.com, LEA.com. And I'll get you some people that will help you convert leads. So you got all the leads in the world, you just need to convert them.
Well, more, for what we can handle, we get about, between 50 and 100 warm leads a day through some Facebook ads. We just don't have the manpower to do anything with them.
So why are you asking me about AI setting appointments?
I'm looking for a way to get people on a real sales call. So the warm leads we get, they opt in, right?
What you're saying is you got a bunch of inbound potential leads. You have names. The answer would go back to AI. It's easier to get those AI to weed through those names and find more qualified people that you can then get on the phone with or book a call with, because what you want is to talk to real customers, not a bunch of jackoffs.
100%.
Yeah, and you got about, let's say, whether it's 100 leads or 1,000 leads, like you said, I can get all the leads I want. Well, again, that's because leads are just potential. You're saying there's a bunch of potential. How do I get to the meat? How do I get to the buyers? How do I weed through the dipshits? How do I get rid of the frickin' looky-loos and the unqualified and the bad credit? We call them roaches. And right now, if you're upset because you got called a roach, well, then fix your credit, roach. Anyway, I can't do business with this type and this type and this type. So all I really need out of those leads are these types. Should I use AI or just call? Well, again, the answer to me is always both. If AI can call every single lead in split seconds, so you don't have any to call because you're so busy talking to the leads it identified, well, then I wouldn't ever call. I would set AI on the leads and turn them into qualified leads. And once they're qualified leads, I would set up an automation to where they book a call on my calendar. And then I would set up a human being, a virtual assistant, to call and confirm to increase my show rate to that booked call. And then when they jump on the booked call, I'd close them like they were going out of style. And then if I could scale that, I would go. Now, eventually, I believe that AI will eventually go from A to Z, which means now you just have AI closing the deal also.
That'll be wild. I don't know if I like that. That kind of erases the money I used from Jeremy Miner that you hooked me onto. But
I used to, be amazed at certain things, and now I think it's stupid. I used to remember when a magician did something until I figured out it was a fake thumb, and now it's like the fun's gone. It's a fake thumb. There's no magic. This is the same thing. Like, damn, dude, I was a badass salesperson, and then I wasn't needed because AI became the best salesperson anyone could ever talk to. Well, then guess what? I'm going to become a badass salesperson of AI. And then as soon as AI sells itself, well, then I'm going to be a badass person at something else, because I'm going to keep evolving, bro, and so should you. But right now, it sounds like you have a sifting problem, and I would highly recommend AI to sift through your people. You know what I mean? AI can do it.
I can email you, and y'all can help me out.
I can help you out with a couple of things, but yeah, I can help you out. Shoot me an email, Brad at bradlee.com. All right, buddy, peace out.
What's up, Brad?
What's up, Hogan?
All right, I'll be quick. I got 2 questions. So I'm young. I got running my business. I got a life question, a sales question. So basically, I just want to know how important is it to truly go all in on your business and kind of set yourself apart, because I'm already pretty much all the way there, and I feel like even on the ups and downs of business, if I'm staying dialed in, staying locked in, it's just on the up the entire way. So what do you think about that?
Well, again, bro, I mean, honestly, you're asking me how important is it to go all in? That's like saying, hey, Brad, how important is it that I wipe my ass when I'm done taking a shit? It's pretty important, bro. Like, what do you mean? How important is it to stay consistent?
Let me go to my other question. I got you.
Hey, Brad, how important is it to stay consistent and be a good person and make money? What you're looking for, bro, is you already know the answer. What you want is validation. Yeah. And dude, let me give it to you. Dude, it's important, right? You got to be a beast. You got to focus. You got to go all in. Now, again, I don't really believe what I just said. Why? Because, dude, you can half-ass something and still succeed. There's newsflash for everybody watching. You can half-ass something and still succeed. How do you know? Because I've done it. I still do it. I succeed sometimes in spite of myself. I'm just a lucky son of a bitch. So at the end of the day, I've half-assed a bunch of shit and won. But did I win as big as I could have had I went all in? No. Could I have done better in the less amount of time? Absolutely. Should I have went all in? Well, again, depends on the situation, bro. Not if I'd have missed my daddy-daughter dance. To me, that's too far in. Okay? There's all in, and then there's too far in. You missing your kids' experiences, you're too far in. How do I know that? Because I've missed kids' experiences, and now when I look back, I go, man, I could have probably went to that soccer game any damn way.
Basically, my business, it's kind of a competitive market. It's the moving industry. So, I mean, I do a lot of stuff that sets me apart, but on these phone calls, the biggest objective is like people will have like multiple quotes to shop around. Is there something I'm already connected pretty good with these people. Is there something I could be doing on my phone calls to kind of be like closing the call, or should I just be following up more? Like
all the above. Again, there's stuff you can be saying on the call where you can close more calls on the first call. You should be following up more.
Absolutely.
You should definitely be following up more. Most salespeople are not following up at all, which is why they miss a lot of their business. Some customers need 6 to 7 touches, and times you talk to them before they ever even make a purchasing decision. So follow-up's critical. But dude, like if I'm in the moving business, when I talk to somebody on the phone, I'm going to try to do whatever I can to close the deal while I'm on the phone. Why?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, dude, that's you need to turn into a closer. What objection would somebody have to your fucking offer? Like, I'm moving, I need a truck and I need some people to come help me move, and I call you, and what do I say? Let me go get about 6 bids first. What's your biggest objection?
I need to look at a couple more quotes. That's like the biggest one.
I need to do a couple more quotes. Okay, so if you said that to me, my question is going to be, out of curiosity, are you looking for the cheapest company or the best company? Out of curiosity, are you looking for the cheapest or the best?
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Well, which one are you looking for? Well, again, I'm the best. No other quote's going to tell you anything. Guys, if you hire the wrong moving company, you could ruin a precious vase or a family heirloom, or you could have scratches in a thing that'll never be replaced, or so many bad things can happen that you can't even start to quantify how much money it's going to cost you not to do business with my moving company. Dude, my moving company, they should call White Glove. Even though it's not, it's called frickin', Hogan's Heroes. It should have been called White Glove. It should have been called the only company on the planet, is what it should have been called, because I am the only company that will move you and get you where you're going unscuffed, unscathed. And if it means a couple of more dollars, are you really going to be that upset that all your was transferred perfectly? Or do you believe that there's some massive swing in estimates in this industry? Like, guys, if I'm telling you it's 900 to move, what are you trying to do? Get it done for 800? What are you trying to do? Save money or get the job done correctly? Would you rather save $100 and up your piano, or would you rather spend $100 and have your arrive safely? Like, guys, we're talking about moving. We're talking about time. How much do you value time? How much time is it going to take you to go get 3 more stupid ass moving quotes? You got the best mover on the phone, G.
It's going to put the money in the bank for what you said.
Colton.
Hey, what's up, Brad? And I thought I should call in. I met you at the resort I worked at I think it was a week ago. And you left me a super good tip. So I wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Thanks for calling in. Tell me, you got a question?
Yeah, I did have a question. I trade stocks in futures every morning. I was wondering, at what point should I reach my income from that? Do I leave the service industry and just purely pursue that?
Well, dude, I mean, that's obviously a personal choice, but my recommendation, without having much information, would be you pursue it full time when it's costing you more not to. In other words, if I'm going to the Montage and I'm making $500 and I'm losing $5,000 because I'm not with my trading, well then, dude, it's time to quit the Montage and go trade full time. But if going to the Montage you make $500 and trading you make $50, well then it's not time yet.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, time is what's valuable, and time is really what you're looking to maximize. So you're going to go give an hour. You can give it to trading, or you can give it to the Montage. What's going to pay you more? What's going to pay a higher return on that time? And then you already know the answer. If I asked you that right now, what would you say?
Always trading.
Okay, well then it's time. Hey, and listen, Colton, don't be afraid, because what if you're wrong?
Go get another job.
Bing. Those are a dime a dozen, bro. But if you're right, yee dog. Now you're rolling.
Exactly.
Wait, dude, it is possible for you to be right, just like it's possible for you to be wrong. Everybody always wants to focus on the what if I lose, what if I fail, who gives a shit? What if you stay the same? What if you're working at the Montage when you're 74? Questions, go ahead. Advice on how to get away from a narcissist husband. I don't know because I'm not an expert at getting away from narcissist. But if what you're trying to tell me is you have a narcissistic husband and you want to get away from him, the best way to get away from him is just the same way you would get away from anybody. You frickin' stop tolerating his ass and you tell him immediately and you make new arrangements and you stop tolerating his narcissistic ass. That's what you do. And you do that, by the way, even if he's not a narcissist. There's no special way to get rid of a narcissist. You get rid of somebody very simply by making the decision that, hey, you're no longer allowed in my life. I'm not going to look at you or talk to you or think about you or allow you to fucking take one more second of my precious time. I think I'm qualified to give you some clinical answer on how to get rid of a narcissist, but I would tell you that it's probably the same as how you get rid of anybody else. Okay, you make a decision, deliver the bad news, and you move along. In a restaurant the other day, and literally somebody recognized me and introduced me as, hey, this is the guy I follow on social media. He's the relationship guy. And I'm like, how did I become a relationship guy? But what's the question?
So would you ever tell your kids about your spouse cheating through a divorce?
Dude, listen, I don't believe any parent should talk any negative about the other parent. And I've been victim and guilty of exactly what I'm telling you shouldn't do, because it's easy to talk about someone you can't stand anymore. It's easy to want your child to understand that you were the victim and that's the bad man. I wouldn't do that at all. Okay, I would always take the high road. I would say nothing but positive about your ex in front of his child or her child. Don't talk about an ex-wife. It doesn't matter who cheated. We're talking about a child here. Okay, take the high road. Let them understand that their parent is top notch, right? You don't want to talk about their parent, even if you can't stand them, even if they screwed you over and cheated on you and humped your sister. Like, it doesn't matter what they did. This is your child, that's their parent, and you should completely separate it. So my answer would be no. According to quantum physics, time doesn't exist. So what is money? Well, if you're trying to be clever because time is money, well, again, time isn't necessarily money. What that phrase means is time equals money. It's not money. Time is time. And by the way, does time exist? Theoretically, it does, but not in the way we've constructed it. Like, in other words, we only have 24 hours in a day. Well, again, we could all agree that an hour is now 1 minute, and then we'd have 60 hours in a day. And it was just, all we'd have to do is change the definition of an hour. So at the end of the day, we can make it mean whatever we want it to mean. The question is, man, if there's no real thing as time, then what's money? Money's an illusion just like everything else. Like, everybody thinks there's a limited amount of money in this world. Dude, there's an unlimited amount of money. Money is delusional. Money is frickin', and again, you've seen countries where their economies crash and the money is literally littered all over the streets because it's absolutely worthless. It's paper. So again, time, that's an illusion. Money, that's an illusion. But I don't know, I think you're just trying to be clever, Mr. Commenter, to see what I'd say, but I don't really have an answer because there's no answer for it. If time is not real, what's money? Toilet paper. Money is a good thing to wipe your sphincter pipe with. Colton asked about systematizing my business. Colton, what's cracking?
Hey, how's it going? So I own a car detailing business, and I'll just get straight to the facts. The business is running me, so I want to get to a point where I can systematize it and hire out and scale out. So what is there, like a template for systematizing, or what would your advice be?
Yeah, I mean, my advice is you already know it. You're saying systematize. If you know what that means, you already have systems in place, don't you? They're just not documented and probably replicatable. But you already have systems in place, right?
Yeah, I just didn't know if like I should do like if I were to hire somebody, should I do like a video of what they should do, or should I do like a paper document of what they should do, or like I don't know.
It depends on your budget and all that, but I mean, again, a full motion interactive video to train the next million people that are going to do the job is probably the most ideal in a training system like ours, which is most ideal. But dude, a lot of people don't have budgets to create badass videos and whatnot. So the minimum is in writing, meaning if you don't know when you're hiring somebody what you expect from them, that needs to be written down. Why? Because dude, they need to know what you expect from them. So you need to write down on a piece of paper what you expect, how you're going to measure them, right? And literally how to do their job. So when you hand them this piece of paper, you can ask them, do you understand what it is I'm paying you for and what's going to happen if you can't or don't do it? And when they say yes, dude, you got a documented system in place. Now you can grow and scale that. Now over time you can make the video. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on where you are in life. But dude, listen, you already have a system. Once you do something more than once, it becomes, let's call it a system. So if I'm detailing cars and my system says, you know, the first thing I do is spray on the soap. And then the next thing I do is, you know, wash it down. And the next thing I do is this. And that's a system. Right. Even though it's not documented, it's still a system. It's still what you do and how you do it. Now the question is I want to grow and scale my company so I'm not a slave to my company. I want to be able to go on vacation, let the company run itself. Well, then somebody needs to know exactly how you do everything and what to do when something that occurs. Then you can leave your business. Why? Because they don't need you anymore. They already know what's in your head. So you get the IP, the intellectual property, out of your head onto a piece of paper so you can then give them the paper, confirm that they understand what's on the paper, and then you give them the job and you walk away and dude, you're now a business owner. See, a lot of people are owned by their business. They don't own the business owns them. Because they haven't done this. Correct. And they don't have these people. So when you get going and you're a solopreneur and you get this business cranking and you get started, what's the next step? Well, the next, obviously you want to make it profitable. Well, now it's going and you're like, well, this is profitable. Now I'm going to grow it and scale it and build a business. Okay, what do I do first? Well, again, do you think it's smarter to hire somebody and then document it, or document it and then hire somebody?
Document it first, obviously.
See, there you go. See how easy this is?
But the I guess the real fear is that somebody's going to run my hard work into the ground.
When you say but, what is at the center of every but? A stinky ass, crinkly starfish hole, and comes out of it. So when you say but, all I think about is a big old round, crinkly hole. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means I hate the word but. Okay, but what? Okay. There is no but.
I just fear that somebody's going to run my hard work into the ground.
Okay, listen, dude, trust me. A lot of us have the same problem. Like, you're not alone. That is not a crazy thought. That is what's called caution. That is what's called, fear. That's what's called, technically limited thinking. Okay. You are naturally leaning towards the scarce, meaning, I don't want anyone to f it up. Okay, so stay small.
That answers my question.
Exactly. And when you think about it, you're like, well, I ain't staying small. I don't want to stay small. Okay, then hire someone and take the chance. Like, what's going to happen if they f up your hard work? You put the hat back on yourself and you stop fucking up your business and you start fixing what he fucked up. But again, if you don't ever give it to anybody, you're going to stay small. You understand?
I do understand.
So, dude, you don't want to stay small. You want to get big as fast as possible. You want to get out of that company and you want to own a business, not a business owning you. So you have to find people. You have to turn it over. You have to delegate. So what are you waiting on? Well, I don't want anyone to screw it up. Screw what up, dude? You ain't got anything. What you're really worried about, hey, hold on, I ain't done. What you're really worried about is you don't want them to come along and screw up what you consider a business. And that's the difference, bro. You don't have a business. Right now you have a job. Okay, if you're doing everything yourself and it's just you and you're worried about someone else screwing that up, you're worried about screwing up a job. And I tell people all the time, dude, jobs are a dime a dozen. Don't worry about screwing up your job. Okay, hire somebody with a good attitude that wants to win, wants to succeed, wants the opportunity, and teach them exactly what you want from them, expect from them, and how to do it. That's all you have to do is say, here's what I want you to do, here's how I'm going to measure you, and here's how you do it. And then again, they got to convince you and trust you that they're the one. I mean, again, use your brain, talk to them, feel them out. But once you say, I feel good about this guy, my intuition says this guy can do everything I can do, maybe not as good, but guess what? It doesn't matter if they can do it as good. Can they do it 70% as good? And if you're like, yeah, they can do it, I bet you he could do it pretty good. Okay, all I need is pretty good. Because while that person's doing what I used to do or have to do myself, now I can do something else. And then I can do something else. And that's how you grow a business. And you keep replacing yourself. And next thing you know, you got a document for this. You got a document for that. You got a document for this. Pretty soon you put all those documents in a book, and that's called a run book. And now all of your systems and procedures are documented. So anybody now with this documentation can run your business. Now you start plugging in, leaders and managers, right? And then you get to screw off and go camping and fishing and hang out at the Montage. And, Colton, you got what I'm saying, dog?
I do, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
No problem, but here's what I'd tell you, dude. Quit being afraid of nothing, because the worst that happens is somebody screws up, which would cause you to jump back in there and fix it, which, again, is not impossible. They're not going to screw anything up because you haven't built anything yet. All you've done is found a profitable way to spend your time, but that's not a business. Okay, a business is doing exactly what I'm talking about, and then pretty soon somebody could screw that up. But trust me, bro, by that time you'll have qualified people on your team, and you'll be freaking rolling like a champ. Don't be afraid. Go out there and get somebody on your team, get them trained. Use Lightspeed, dude. Lightspeedvt.com. Go spin yourself up a training system. I'll help you.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Veronica from YouTube. Veronica wants to know, what's up with my acting career? When you say what's up with it, within the next 3 to 5 years, I'm going to produce a movie or two, in which case I will be in it. And we will let the audience decide whether or not I have a career. That's what's up with my acting career. I'm going to fund a movie, a badass movie, by the way, and I'm going to put myself in it because I'll be the boss. And if the audience, the world, responds well and says, man, that was awesome, well, then I'll get more scripts and more opportunities and more offers from other filmmakers that, need to pay me, and then I'll have a career. Right now, I don't really have an acting career. That's what's up with the acting career. What else? Will we ever see another Brad Lee and Grant Cardone podcast? Well, I would say yes. Yes, you will. If that's what you want, especially. But I think you will, one way or the other. I was going to grab him and ask him to come on my podcast right now while you're live. I was going to FaceTime him and or text him to see if he will agree to do it. But I'm sure he will. And yes, you will. You will see another Brad Lee, Grant Cardone podcast. Matter of fact, Grant is probably watching this right now. Grant follows me and watches everything I do silently, but he's watching. So again, Grant, come on, dude. The fans want us back together again. Come back on my podcast, son.
When is the real Brad Lee going to interview the top G?
So again, that's another one. Andrew Tate, dude, he's coming on my show one way or the other, even if I got to fly to him. And he already, he emailed me first to get on my show. Then he had some trouble, and then he got freaking ultra famous. But he still will come on. It's just a matter of timing. So I don't know when, but I am getting your boy, the top G, and Tristan, by the way, dude. Freaking Tristan's a stud too, dude. I want them both on the show. Dude, I can't wait for that. That's going to be unbelievable. Now on, BRADVICE needs to be at the exact same time, at the exact same day, every single week, so people can count on it.